Hey guys, Mr. Randall here, and in today's video we will be talking about dividing decimals. So we'll be looking at long division with decimals. And I know that's something we've done for bell ringers before, but I think it's important to make sense of it, but also just practice it, okay? Here's your quizzes code for when we get through with it. And as always, go to this link for more help. Good step-by-step extra problems from this link. Okay, so when we look at division, really all the division is saying is how do we take something and break it up into a certain size group or certain number of groups. And so if we break it into a certain size, how many groups will we have? So for example here, let's say we have 960 chocolates or sweets or whatever, and we need to package them in groups of 4. Well, that's a division. We're putting them in groups. How many boxes do we have? What we do when we look at this is, well, I know if I pack up 100 boxes, with 4 candies in each, I'll have 400 candies packed, right? And I could take away that 400 from this, the 960. What? Well, if I do that a second time, I will have boxed up 800 candies with 200 boxes. Do you see how these are both in the hundreds place value? Okay, well now, after I've done that with 200 boxes, I'll have 160. I can't group in hundreds anymore, but what I could do, well, in hundreds of boxes at least, what I could do is break it up into tens. Okay, I have 160 left over. Well, I know if I box in groups of 10 boxes, I'll be counting by 40. For every 10 boxes I do, I'll count by 40. So if I do that 4 times, I'll go 40, 80, 120, and 160. Together, then, I can see, well, I boxed up the 160, so I'll do the 200 boxes I did up here, and then the 40 boxes I did right here, and I would have 240 boxes. Do we see how what we're doing is we're just breaking it up and making it more digestible by multiplying. Okay? So, think about division as how many times one group can be broken into a smaller group. So this, what we want to do is when, if we're dividing into smaller groups, it's a lot easier if the groups we're dividing into are whole numbers. If it's a whole number, then what we can do is divide past the decimal a lot easier. And since it's Tuesday, I'll give you your dad joke. Why did the Scarecrow win an award? Well, because he was outstanding in this field. Okay, moving on. So looking at this problem, what we have is 1.03075 divided by 0.25. Well, if we look back here, we want to have the divisor be a whole number. So the first thing that we're going to do is turn that into this. 103.075 divided by 25. We're turning this into a whole number, and if we move the decimal twice over here, we have to move the decimal twice right here. So our decimal point is going to be right here instead. Okay, so, well, I look at this, I know that when the 100 spot, so right here, I can fit 25 4 times. So I'll have 4. Well, now what we'll look at that is, can 25 go into 3.075? No. So what we need to do then is that's past our decimal. So now, if we look here, we can move it 1 over or carry down. 25 goes into 30.30 5 times. Well, it goes in 1 time with a remainder of 5, I mean. So we can carry that 5 down. Then we have 57. Okay. 25 goes into 57 twice. And we carry the what's left down. And if we carry that down, we'll get 75. 25 goes into 75 3 times with a remainder of 0. So our answer is going to be 4. Because again, we're putting them in order that we got them. 4.123. 4.123. Okay, so looking at this now, what we have is we want to do 2.211 divided by 6.7. Well, right here, I want to make this a whole number. So this will become 67. Well, if I look right here, does 67 go into 2? No, it doesn't. So what we do is we can put a 0 there. Put a 0 in that tenths place. Well, does 67 go into 22? No. So we'll put a 0 in that spot. Okay, does 67 go into 221? Yes. And if you were to guesstimate that, if we do, let's round that down to 60. 60 times 3 would give me 180, and 180 is really close. So if we look at that, we'll go in 3 times with a remainder of, if we do 67 times 3, we would get 201. So we'll have a remainder of 20. That is where we get this 20 right here. Okay? But it goes in 3 times, so we put a 3 right there in that 10th spots that I have color coordinated. So now, well, 201 divided by, let's see, 67, well, that goes in 3 times. And then we would also have a remainder of 0. So our answer is now going to be 0.33 or 33 hundredths. Okay, do we see that? Why I color coordinated all these? If you did, good. If you don't, please go back and practice some of these. Make sure we do our quizzes, okay? Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good day.